Hello again and welcome to Forum for a Better Understanding. I can hardly believe that this is the 363rd consecutive week that we've been able to bring to you a Forum for a Better Understanding. Unfortunately, the topic that we're going to cover today is one that we need to come and visit again. We've done about 8 different programs on homelessness already, but since it is an issue that is yet resolved, that we are still dealing with daily, that is not really improved in the last years here in Fresno at all, but rather perhaps become more grave, we saw the need to visit it again. We have 3 guests who are part of a committee called the Bishop John Steinbock Homeless Advocacy Committee, and we'd like to introduce them to you right now. Father Jim Rood is a Jesuit priest. He's the Director of Social Justice for the Diocese of Fresno and is one of those 4 Jesuit priests serving the 8 counties of our beautiful Diocese of Fresno. In the middle of our group is Bill Simon, a member of the St. Paul Newman Catholic Center, and he is the chair of this fantastic committee that has been working for 2 years and more on the homeless issue. And across from me is Jim Nelson, another member of our beautiful St. Paul Newman Center parish, and also a member and a very strong, active member of the Bishop Steinbock Homeless Advocacy Committee. Men, I'd like to ask you this very honest question, but you only get 1 sentence or 2, so please don't abuse. Why are you still so passionately committed to this issue of homelessness over these long years? Father Jim.
Very simply, my homeless brothers and sisters are Jesus.
Bill.
The problem has just gotten so much worse over the past 30, 40, even 50 years that I just feel like I have to do something about it.
And you are. Jim, why are you in this?
I think it goes back to my formation as a young person and my family values that my parents taught me to just respect people, respect the human dignity.
And this is what this committee's been doing. But let's talk about this committee. Father Jim, can you just open up a little bit for those that don't know of it yet? The Bishop John Steinbock Homeless Advocacy Committee. How did it start? Who are its members? What does it basically, how does it function? Father Jim.
Well, it started about 2 years ago now. Bill Simon, as the coordinator of the Peace and Justice Committee at St. Paul Newman, had set up a forum about homelessness, which was going to be academic and educational. But the city did a wonderful thing that day.
Oh, yeah.
It destroyed a huge encampment, destroyed it. And so instead of having 40 people or so who were there to learn, there were about 200 people there who were there with a lot of anger. And the end result of that was that Bill and I talked about it afterwards. And the following week, I went to the Bishop's Committee, to the Bishop's Curia. And they've ended up by asking me to create a committee to do 2 things: educate our people and take some kind of action, whatever we can do. And that's what we've been doing. Bill Simon is our chairman. We've been trying it for 2 years now.
And it's
little by little.
Little by little, but not little steps either. They've been some major things. Bill, could you give us a little chronicle of some of the many major efforts going back in time? What are some of the ways that this committee has functioned? What has it done?
Probably the first big thing we did was to go to just about all the Catholic parishes in Fresno and Clovis to talk about the dignity of our homeless brothers and sisters, and we passed out a brochure about 20 different things people can do to help the homeless. We've had a lot of articles in the Catholic Life, the newspaper. We've sent out bulletin articles for the parish bulletins. We worked with Bishop Steinbock to issue his pastoral letter on homelessness. The members of our committee had a retreat together, which they found very helpful in keeping us dedicated to the work of the homeless. And we worked with other faith traditions in Fresno to pull together a summit conference on homelessness, which we've had 3 now, It involved about 65 churches, mosques, temples, synagogues, and about 150 people have been involved in it. Had a very good meeting a couple months ago with people from the county, and it looks like we're going to be able to work very well with them.
Jim Nelson, you've been at this now consistently from the very beginning. What is it that you would say has been perhaps the most successful, or the project you want to highlight of what Bill just mentioned, one of the events, projects, or initiatives of the committee?
Well, I think the most important one was the summit, because the summit led us into other avenues. And out of that came an effort to work together in zip code areas. And unfortunately, we still have some work there to do to redevelop that. But I think that by getting together within the zip codes of the various faith communities, we can more effectively work with existing programs to avoid duplication and just to make everything a little bit more efficient.
Father Jim, you've been at this way more than the 2 years of this committee. It's been your Jesuit life. What is it about this committee that keeps you engaged, that keeps you committed to it? What is it about this project now that really gives you life as you give it life?
Well, basically, the committee is committed. I mean, they're incredible people. They're maintaining themselves and doing a good job. But the homeless, for me, started way back 30, 40 years ago in Los Angeles when I was at Loyola High School, and I had created a thing called CAM, Christian Action Movement, just to get kids out of themselves and to see what the other side of the world is like. And one thing that our kids did was do this Catholic Workers Soup Kitchen on Sunday. Between 500 and 800 men and women came in to be fed, and they were, of course, all homeless. So that was the first time I got a chance to see these people. And now we have a chance to actually work on it. As Bishop Steinbock told us, right now work only in Fresno, because Fresno is different from Bakersfield and so forth. Everyone's area is different. Try your hardest to get your Catholic people to understand, to be educated, because the homeless is not an easy thing, and it's not a group of people who want to be there. It's a very, very difficult process.
Bill, can you outline a little bit about what this February that we're celebrating, the month of homeless awareness in the diocese, give us some of the aspects of that.
Well, for Homeless Awareness Month, the whole point is to help all of our parishioners become much more aware of the dignity of our homeless brothers and sisters, and to find ways that we can all help those who are without a place to live. It's going to involve an essay contest for students. It's going to involve...
Can I stop you right there? Which students? I mean, because I'm interested. Am I a student? How do you qualify to be a student?
We're talking first grade through senior in high school.
And Catholic schools?
Catholic schools, religious ed programs.
Awesome.
I suspect we have some members of the committee who belong to Hope Lutheran Church, and I bet they'll get involved too.
Very good. Keep going. Essays.
So the essay contest, we have bulletin articles for each Sunday during February that we'll send to the parishes.
Do the parishes actually print these things?
Sometimes some of them do. Hopefully they will for this one.
I'm asking you, please, from KNXT, we have the same issue with you. Help us help you. Please print these suckers. Go ahead.
These two programs that we're going to have on homelessness will be on YouTube for people to watch during February after they air on KNXT.
YouTube, I got to tell you, go there often. Greg can put up our notice. YouTube and Facebook, all of the programs of homeless awareness, they're all going to be plastered over our website, knxt.tv. They're on YouTube, all these shows. Bill has sent us a list of all the things that are going on with this committee. It's all posted there at knxt.tv. Join us there. There's also another website. What's the other one?
The other one is helpinfresno.org.
What's at helpinfresno.org?
It's a list of places people can go to get help with food, meals, clothing, all kinds of things. It's under development at the moment, but there's a lot of good information there.
There is. I've been to that website. It's a great place to go. We're going to talk about it, I think, in the other show also, because we want to have 2 shows back-to-back talking about homelessness. But I want you to know that everything Bill's saying, there is a real urgency to it. This month of February is homeless awareness. Let's become aware of the homeless among us. Bill, what else are you going to do?
Probably the final thing is that we're sending out suggested petitions for the prayer of the faithful to each of the parishes, helping us to pray for the homeless.
Jim Nelson, you are, along with Bill and Father Jim, I think sort of like the troika that moves this committee along. You've been, I will say, very overly committed. What is it that you personally are hoping in February 2013 happens among our faithful here in the Diocese of Fresno?
Well, I think when we talk about awareness, it's a very broad descriptive word. And I think one of the things we can do individually is take a look or become aware of our own personal prejudice and maybe examine them. How do we feel about the homeless? How do we stereotype them? I think another part of becoming aware is how many different programs are there functioning in Fresno, and like through the websites, perhaps we need to become a little bit more aware of all the different programs so that, again, we can work more effectively. And I think one other thing, it's not really a part of Awareness Week, but it's going to be happening at the end of February. It's going to be the point in time population count of the homeless population in Fresno. And hopefully we can get out a little bit more information on that on a later date, because we will need volunteers to go out there to take or to help us with the population count.
Obviously, that will be on our website, and I'm sure on helpinfresno.org also. But we will be posting this date of when it is that we're going to be counting our homeless brothers and sisters. Bill, you're good on numbers. Ballpark, how many are there, and is the number going up or going down?
Mayor Swearingen says the number is going down. I don't think that's true. One of the reasons perhaps it went down is because the point-in-time survey is not a real accurate count. And when they did it in January of 2012, the city had just closed all the encampments, so people couldn't be found. You just didn't know where to look for them. So I'm sure many people didn't get counted. So there are about 5,000 people living on the street. And you always figure there's about 3 times that many, or 15,000 more, who are sleeping on somebody's couch but don't have a place they can call home. So there's a lot.
There is a lot, and we're going to be back in a moment with the second half of this program, followed next week at the same time by our second program. These programs will be on YouTube immediately and right away, so you can be seeing this when you see it on TV. Go to YouTube and tell your friends to join us on YouTube. Right now, we take our break. Stay tuned, because we'll be back in 1 minute with a beautiful Reader's Theater that we want to share with you.
KNXT thanks all its loyal viewers and respected businesses who have supported your Catholic television station. Now you can support KNXT with program underwriting by having your name, your company's name, or organization associated with your favorite program. Detailed information about you or your company will appear before and after each program or day part you select. Keep the quality and spiritual message alive and make a difference. Call 559-488-7440 today, or go online at knxt.tv to find out more about program underwriting on KNXT.
Welcome back to the second half of our first program of this new season of Forum for a Better Understanding. Right now, we're going to treat you to something, and I think Bill Simon will tell us the origins of this project that you're going to see. It's a 10-minute little piece. Tell us about it, Bill.
Well, when we started arranging for this Homeless Awareness Month, the first 2 elements that came together were in the essay contest, which Jim Nelson worked on very hard. And the second was Cate Cate said, we should have a play. Now, a full-blown play turned out to be more work than we could pull together. But it became a reader's theater about homelessness and about homeless people and what they need and how we can look at it positively and make some progress.
And we filmed this in our studio last week, so stay tuned for the very first of the KNXT Reader Theater moment. Stay tuned. We're going to play it right now.
This story takes place on F Street near Poverello House. The characters include Stephen, a 11-year-old homeless boy, his mother Rose, Gil, a homeless man who most often sounds like a preacher, and Ruth, a volunteer who works with our homeless brothers and sisters.
Then the righteous will answer him and say, Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you drink? When did we see you a stranger and welcome you, or naked and clothe you? When did we see you ill or in prison and visit you?
A long time ago, in a faraway land, no. I'm afraid this just isn't one of those types of stories. Sadly, this story,
Or one similar.
Or unfortunately, some a lot worse.
is taking place right here, today, in the present time. And you want to know something even more upsetting? It's happening right here in our communities, like Clovis and Madera, towns like Fowler and Reedley, and in the city of Fresno. So really, this story isn't my story, and this story isn't that of my son. We're just players on a stage with a very big message coming from the heart of a small boy who represents the stories of so many children in our country today.
Rose, I've been looking for you. If you're going to make the appointment in time, you better get going. I'll make sure to meet your son after school and bring him back over.
Okay, oh thanks, Ruth. You know, hopefully they'll help me down there to get my paperwork in order so that I can get my ID and then hopefully get my husband's death certificate and then maybe get started on some kind of aid.
Rose, just take it one step at a time. It could be a long process, but we'll try and help you through it as best we can. Bye now.
Bye.
Rose lost her husband to cancer about 1.5 years ago. She's got 2 small children, 2 boys. George Anthony was just 2.5 when his dad died, and I don't think he really understood. He cries and cries. He's just inconsolable. And his brother Stephen was 9 and is now 11. I know he's taking it hard, always trying to be so brave, trying to be the man of the house when he's just a young boy himself. I don't think this family really ever expected anything like this to happen. But with the economy the way it is, and Dad's cancer and Mom not having a job, well, I mean, why should she? You know, she was just raising her boys and helping at school, being a good mother. Suddenly, things just piled up and then went spiraling out of control. It's easy. Could happen to any one of us at any time, really. Somebody gets sick or somebody loses their job. If you'll excuse me, I have to go now. But, you know, please keep these people in your prayers, you know, because no one deserves a life on the streets.
Has anybody, excuse me, sir, but has anybody seen my mom and my kid brother? I went to school this morning. When I left, everything was okay. We was at Poverello, and my mom and I, my kid brother, we was sleeping in the car, but then these people came and they took the car. Then we stayed in this little garage, but there was no lights and it was pitch dark, and my brother, he was really scared. Then the people told me I had to go to school. They gave me some books, paper, and pencils. Take them. I don't want to go to school. I just want to take care of my family.
Keep your pencils and work as hard as possible to do your homework and get good grades. That'll take your mother real proud of you, son. And I bet you got some other attributes that make your mom proud.
Huh?
Attributes, like those things that are good about yourself, special, your finer qualities, making a difference that everybody else. Surely, you've got some. One?
Well, I don't know if I got any of those, but I'm trying to be good.
Trying to be good, are you?
Well, yes, I am. I'm trying to be good because that's what my dad taught me. And please don't laugh. But I got to help take care of my mother and my little brother because that's what my father expected of me.
That's what we do out here on the street for each other. It's a do unto others as you would have them do unto you kind of rule. Don't be afraid, Stephen. The Father has sent you out of love to bring love and comfort to others. Perhaps one of your attributes is that you can share God's love with others who are less fortunate than yourself.
Well, like some of the kids back at the shelter, some of them have it tougher than me. Some of the kids, I bet you I can play games with them while their moms are trying to talk to the other moms.
You're a great example, not just your peers, but moms and dads, teachers, and whoever else might be listening. That's never a gift that's too small. And if everybody helps somebody, then we will all be a lot better off, a lot stronger, a lot more capable of accomplishing great things together. I've seen miracles happen here every day. People loving who surely someone else would think is a hater. People sharing food when their bellies are as empty as the next. Making sacrifices that put them in harm's way. Sometimes giving of their lives. No one hardly cares most of the time neither, except God. He's watching and caring for us every moment.
Gil, your mama's coming, sweetheart. I was supposed to come walk you back to the shelter because she had an interview.
Well, thank goodness, Miss Ruth, but can I just finish telling Gil about what my mama and daddy taught me, and then we can walk back?
Well, you can tell us as we walk back together because we're having a meal over at Poverillo, and it's almost dinner time anyway.
There you are, Stephen. So what did you learn today?
Well, first of all, that God loves us no matter what. Oh, and this one's a hard one, but that He's going to take care of us.
He's taking care of us.
Well, look at how He took care of me this afternoon by sending all of you. I was scared, but when I saw Gil and when you came up, Miss Ruth, I felt I wasn't alone out here anymore.
That's what it's all about, kid. Really.
Well, thank goodness we have places like Poverello and people like Ruth who volunteer. It seems kind of strange, though.
Now what are you thinking about?
Well, here we are, 2013. We can fly to the moon, and we have jets that can take us all around the world. We have computers in our classrooms, and even little kids have cell phones. But why are these people living on the sidewalks? Do you think if enough people hear this story, maybe they can help make a difference so one day soon no one will know what it means to be homeless or to go to bed without a meal? Almost everyone, no matter how big or small, can help bring an end to homelessness.
For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. A stranger, and you welcomed me. Naked, and you clothed me. Ill, and you cared for me. In prison, and you visited me. Amen, I say to you, whatever you did for one of these least brothers of mine, you did for me.
Well, first of all, I want to congratulate our playwright, that would be Cate Cate from the Newman Center, and then our four thespians who are just so awesome. They may not be Shakespearean yet, but there's always hope that the next time we will have more Readers Theater here in our studio. That was really a great first effort. In conclusion to our first program, Father Jim, any remark you must make that you are just not able to restrain yourself before we close the show?
Well, it's just that recently I was talking with some people, and one person said, it's nonsense about this homeless. All they need to do is go out and get jobs and they wouldn't be homeless. So I'm excited about the February Awareness Month. Let us make the people more aware.
Bill, final thoughts?
Just that we all need to care. And so often we see homeless on the street corners and the shopping centers. We should offer a kind word, because that goes a long way.
I'm not sure if I should call you Jim or Stephen, but you don't have your hat on, then you'd be definitely Stephen. Tell us, Jim, what it was like getting into the boots of that young little 11-year-old.
I think it gave me somewhat of a feeling, maybe from a younger age, if I could go back that far. I mean, just facing the world, being divided between not having a father and the expectations that he had, now to be the father of the family or the leader of the family. A lot of courage there, a lot of strength.
I want to remind all of you that this program is one of a series. We'll be on again next week at the same time. I want you to go to YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/KNXT1, or just go to our website, KNXT.TV. Go to Facebook, where you'll see what KNXT is trying to do anymore to bring issues to you. Homelessness is an issue that we will not solve in February, but if we can become a little bit more aware of what are the parameters of this awful social issue, something that is manageable if we only addressed it. But I think we're finding out from our panel that not everyone is actually committed to addressing it. We are sort of putting it as if it's not our problem. It's if they only had jobs, if they only went to school. But why are there no jobs? Why are schools unable to attend to their needs? These are the deeper issues that we hope we'll cover next week in our program, when we'll visit again with the Homeless Committee, Bishop John Steinbock's Advocacy Committee. Till next week, God bless.